Welcome to this complete reading of Twilight with relaxing rain sounds in the background to help you get down to sleep. This is my weekly podcast, and I've put together this extra long episode to say thank you for your amazing support on this series. And secondly, to let you know that New Moon is available in full with and without rain sounds on Patreon right now. I decided to wait until New Moon was finished being read on Patreon so that now when it comes here to YouTube, it's going to be very consistent. You can expect to know when it's going to drop, and I'll try and make sure that it goes up on the same day every week. So hit that like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a single reading. And now, let's tuck you in. Take a nice deep breath for me, and let's get down to sleep. Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I'd never given much thought to how I would die, though I'd had reason enough in the last few months. But even if I had, I would not have imagined it like this. I stared without breathing across the long room into the dark eyes of the hunter, and he looked pleasantly back at me. Surely it was a good way to die, in the place of someone else, someone I loved. Noble, even. That ought to count for something. I knew that if I'd never gone to Forks, I wouldn't be facing death now. But terrified as I was, I couldn't bring myself to regret the decision. When life offers you a dream so far beyond any of your expectations, it's not reasonable to grieve when it comes to an end. The hunter smiled in a friendly way as he sauntered forward to kill me. Chapter 1. First Sight. My mother drove me to the airport with the windows rolled down. It was 75 degrees in Phoenix. The sky a perfect cloudless blue. I was wearing my favorite shirt, sleeveless white eyelet lace. I was wearing it as a farewell gesture. My carry-on item was a parka. In the Olympic Peninsula of northwest Washington State, a small town named Forks exists under a near-constant cover of clouds. It rains on this inconsequential town more than any other place in the United States of America. It was from this town and its gloomy, omnipresent shade that my mother escaped with me when I was only a few months old. It was in this town that I'd been compelled to spend a month every summer until I was 14. That was the year that I finally put my foot down. These past 3 summers, my dad Charlie vacationed in California for 2 weeks instead. It was to Forks that I now exiled myself. An action that I took great horror. I detested Forks. I loved Phoenix. I loved the sun and the blistering heat. I loved vigorous, sprawling city. Bella, my mum said to me the last of 1,000 times before I got on the plane, You don't have to do this. My mum looks like me except with short hair and laugh lines. I felt a spasm of panic as I stared at her wide, childlike eyes. How could I leave my loving, erratic, harebrained mother to fend for herself? Of course she had Phil now, so bills would get paid. There would be food in the refrigerator, gas in her car, and someone to call when she got lost, but still. I want to go. I lied. I'd always been a bad liar, but I've been saying this lie so frequently lately that it sounded almost convincing now. Tell Charlie I said hi. I will. I'll see you soon, she insisted. You can come home whenever you want. I'll come right back as soon as you need me. But I could see the sacrifice in her eyes behind the promise. Don't worry about me. I urged. It'll be great. I love you, Mum. She hugged me tightly for a minute, and then I got on the plane and she was gone. It's a 4-hour flight from Phoenix to Seattle, Another hour in a small plane up to Port Angeles, and then an hour is gone back down to Forks. It's a 4-hour flight from Phoenix. Another hour in a small plane up to Charlie down to Forks. I was a little worried. Flying doesn't bother me. The hour in the car with Charlie, though, fairly nice about the whole thing. Charlie seemed genuinely pleased that I was coming to live with him for the first time with any degree of permanence. Registered for high school. He'd already gotten me ready to help me get a car. But she awkward, Charlie. Neither of us was. And I didn't know what to say regardless. I knew he was more than a little confused. Like my mother before me, I hadn't made a secret of my distaste for Forks. When I landed in Port Angeles, it was raining. I didn't see it as a moment, just unavoidable. I'd already said my goodbyes. Charlie was waiting for me with the cruiser. This was expecting to just want Forks. My primary motivation behind buying a car despite the scarcity of funds was that I would be driven around town. Nothing slows like the game stumbled in. It's good to see you, Bells, he said, smiling as he automatically caught and steadied me. You haven't changed much. How's Renee? That's fine. What loud calling Charlie's. His own clothes were too permeable for Washington. My mum and I had pulled our wardrobe. It was scanty. It all fit easily into the trunk of it. Really cheap, he announced when we were strapped. What kind of car? I was suspicious of the way he said call you, just well, it's a Chevy. Where did you find it? Do you remember Black The Push is the tiny Indian reservation on the coast. No. He used to go during the summer. That would remember him. Blocking painful, unnecessary wheelchair now, Charlie continued. So you can't drive. What year is it? Execution's question, he would ask. Well, Billy's work on the engine. It's only a year old, really. I didn't believe that I would give it. When did he bought it in 1984. Did he buy it? No. I did it 60s or late, he admitted sheepishly. Dad, I don't really know anything about cars. I wouldn't be able to fix it if anything went wrong. And I couldn't afford a mechanic. Everything's great. They don't build them like that anymore. I thought to myself, it has to be made. All this was part that I couldn't compromise on. Well, honey, I already bought it for you. It's home. Charlie peeked sideway with a free. You didn't need to do that, Dad. I want to buy a car. I don't mind. I want you. He was looking ahead the road when he said that Charlie wasn't comfortable with expressing his emotions out loud. I inherited that from him. So I was looking at it. That's really thanks. I need my enforcement ability. He's on me. I got a free truck in the mouth. Well, now you're welcome, he mumbled, embarrassed by my thanks. It meant on the weather wet, and that was pretty much it for the conversation. We stared out of the windows in silence. It was beautiful, of course. I couldn't deny everything. The trees, the trunk was covered with moss, branches hanging with canopy of it. Even though filtered down green, it was too alien. Eventually we made it to Charlie. He still lived in a small two-bedroom house that he'd bought with money from the only thing I had. There, parked on the street in front of the house, changed was my new big rounded fenders. My intense, but I could see myself that never gets damaged. The kind you see in anything unscratched pieces of wow, Dad, love it, thanks. Now my hip day tomorrow will be that fake choice of walking 2 miles in the rain to school or accepting a ride in the Chief's cruiser. I'm glad you like it, Charlie. Embarrassed again. It took me a while to get over the front yard. The room was familiar. It had followed me since I was born. The wooden floor, all the peaks, the elevator. These were part of my childhood. We changed the crib and adding a desk as I grew. The desk now held a second-hand computer from the owner. This was so that we could stay in touch. My baby days was still in a small bathroom at the top of the stairs. Trying too much on the fact that I would have to share a child feeling unhappy and settled. Our feet would have been all together enough. It was not to have to smile and relief stare gently out of the window at the rain as I haven't thought I had saved at that time. Forks High School had 157 students. There were more than 100 people at the time. All the kids here had grown up together. Their grandparents. I with Beetle, Kitty, freak. Like a girl from Phoenix should, but physically I've never fit in anywhere. A chatty and blonde, a volleyball player or a cheerleader. Things that instead I was I beneath blue-eyed head, despite constant. I had always but soft somehow. Obviously not an athlete. I didn't have the necessary hand-eye to play sports with myself and myself. When I finished with the pipe bathroom necessities and went to the communal bathroom to clean myself up after a day of travel. But I looked at my damp hair. Maybe like that. Already I saw the health. My skin could be pretty. It was almost translucent, depended on color, and I had no color here. My nose was lying. It wasn't just physically that I've never fit in. If I couldn't find a niche in a school with 3,000 people, my child, I didn't relate. Maybe the truth that I relate to than anyone else. Was never on the same page. Maybe there was a glitch in my brain. But the cause didn't matter anymore. It would be just the beginning. I didn't sleep well that night, even after that. The concentrated across the fade into the background. I filled my head and laid back to sleep. Tonight settled into a drizzle. Thick fog was all over the claustrophobic. You could hear. It was like Charlie was a quiet event. I thanked him, knowing his hope was wasted. Good luck tended fast. Off the police station after I got the old setting with the reaching a small panel wall bright and a linoleum floor. Nothing changed. I had 18 in the house. The fireplace in the adjoining Hank's family room was a row of pictures in Las Vegas. I was born, taken by a procession of my schools. It was embarrassing. I would have to see what I do to live somewhere else. It was impossible being not I had never gotten over. It made me comfortable. I didn't say I couldn't stay anymore. It was just through me as I reached the sea that was always by the door. The sloshing wood boots was unnerving as I walked. I was in a hurry to get out of the misty wet that swirled around my head and clung to my hair under my trousers. Either Bill obviously cleaned it up, the tail seat still smelled faint gasoline and peppermint. I clicked my right wife and then I plus that I hadn't expected. Finding the school wasn't difficult, though I'd been for. Most other times it was a school, only the sign led it high school. It looked like a blue colour. There were so many trouble I couldn't see its size at first. The institution, I wondered nostalgically. Where were the chain link fences and the metal detectors? I parked in front of the first building, which had a small sign over reading front office. I wasn't sure it was off limits, instead of circling around in the rain like an idiot. I stepped unwillingly out of those toasty truck cabins down the lone park edges. I could inside the rubber hood. This was chairs and